It's difficult, isn't it? To let go of somebody who was an integral part of your life in the past, who had some kind of an influence over you. Maybe you loved that person, maybe you trusted that person, maybe you relied on that person, and now that person is no longer around, or you don't want them around, but they still have an influence over you as a person. And that is the reason why many people want to let go. They want to let go of their past. They want to let go of those people in their past who still influence them. Hi, I'm Seema Shenoy Manek, your transformation coach and a master trainer of neuro-linguistic programming. And in the last 2 decades, I have worked with thousands of people to help transform their life so that they can overcome all their limiting beliefs and everything that holds them back as a person and build powerful lives for themselves. And in today's video, I'm going to be sharing a 3-step strategy with which you can let go of any person in the past, especially if a person you have loved. That's exceptionally difficult to let go. 1, that person is no longer in your life. Maybe you had a beautiful relationship, everything was beautiful, and for some reason that person is no longer there. You can't share that relationship with that person anymore. In that case, if everything was great and you still love that person, you don't want to stop loving that person. But at the same time, you don't want to feel that sense of loss that you feel whenever you think of that person, isn't it? The best thing to do in this situation is focus on the great things that you had with that person and relive those experiences with that person again and again, so that you can have that feeling, that nourishment from that person even today. And there is another situation where you have to let go of a person, and that is when you have been rejected. That person let go, that person suddenly stopped loving you, the person walked away from your life, they broke your heart, and it can be extremely painful because a lot of times they don't even give you an explanation about why they did what they did. There was a time when I was dating somebody, and that person seemed quite perfect to me back then because I think I had fallen in love with that person. And when you're in love with somebody, everything seems great, right? So I was really looking forward to spending my life with that person, and we were together for a short period of time. But all of a sudden, for no reason, that person just called me and said that, hey, I don't think it's working and I don't think I can be with you anymore. And the sense of loss and pain and confusion that I felt was terrible. I felt so disappointed. I felt so let down, and I did not know how to deal with it. However, after a month or two, a friend, while having a conversation with a friend, when I looked back at this relationship, it suddenly started occurring to me that there were a lot of things about this person that I was ignoring. He was too spiritual. He was always talking about spirituality. He wasn't practical. He didn't believe in having fun in life. Right? I am quite spiritual myself. I love my God. I love meditating, but I'm also a very practical person. I love to live my life. I like to travel. I like to have fun in my life as well. And he did not like to do all these things. But I was so focused on the fact that he was spiritual that I had ignored so many other things. But when I looked back at that relationship after some time, when I had overcome my feeling of grief, I said, oh my God, he was not the right person for me. And then that feeling came, that good riddance to bad rubbish. A lot of times when things go away from our life, people go away from our life, it's meant to be. They're meant to go. They wouldn't have made you happy in the long term. So check if you really need to let go of somebody. If this is the situation, this is the case, maybe you're only focusing on the loss. What if you have lost something that is good that you lost it, right? The third type of people are people who have left negativity in our life. There are some people who in the garb of friendship or in the garb of love will abuse, will criticize, will bring down your self-esteem, will make you feel terrible, will put fear into you. And whenever you lose somebody like that, or you, let us say, dump that person, or you let go of that person can still have a lot of impact on you. Whenever you think of that person, you can feel fearful, or you can feel guilty, or you can feel very angry at that person, or frustrated, or you can ask yourself, why did this happen? Why did this person do this to me? Right? So it can come with a lot of disempowering emotions. The person's gone. It's a terrible person who's gone, but they still control you. This happened to me in one of my relationships, one of my very strong relationships in the past, where I overcame an abusive relationship and I decided to leave and I moved away. But despite that, for a long time, that person had an influence on me because I was so full of fear for this person. Whenever this person's email used to come, or I used to even see that person in a distance, I used to feel fear in every bone of my body. I will start shivering just by seeing that person in a distance. And that's the kind of strong impact that person had. And after a couple of years, whenever I receive an email from that person, I would think, oh my God, I don't want to get this email. I don't want to see this person's email. I didn't want to open that person's email. So I feel so afraid. Then I said, hey, this is bullshit. This is rubbish. I have taken powerful steps in my life. I have chosen to move out of that relationship because that person is not good for me. I should feel nothing. I must not allow that person to affect me. So if somebody is affecting you negatively, any person from the past is affecting you negatively, please remember one thing. If you allow them to influence you, you are still allowing them to control you. And that's when I decided to really cut the cords with that person. And that's the technique that I'm going to talk to you all about, which is how to cut the cords with somebody who is negative and you do not want that person to have any influence over you anymore. Now, how do you do the cord cutting technique? Of course, you must do it in your own space and time, because if I'm going to take you through it right now, you may be in your car, or you may be doing something else, watching me right now. You may not be in a position to do that. So I'm going to explain the steps to you. And I suggest that if there's anyone in your life who still influences you from the past, and you want a friend who hurt you, an ex-boyfriend who broke your heart, or a parent, or anybody who said something and it still hurts, do this cord cutting exercise. Take the time and do this cord cutting exercise. How do you do that? Find a space where nobody's going to disturb you. Sit down comfortably in one place. Get into your zone of meditation, or calm yourself down, light a candle, or whatever it takes, right? Sit in one place and just think of that person. When you think of that person and you start visualizing about that person, you're going to start getting certain images in your mind's eye. You're going to think of instances, and memories are going to come back. Now, I have made another video, like I said, how do you let go of your past, and I'm going to leave a link of that as well along with this video. So click on that link and watch that, because in that I speak about the Photoshop method with which you can let go of any memory. So if any disempowering, any negative memories are coming to your mind, you can use that Photoshop method that's in the other video, and you can let go of that memory. Now, while you're thinking, memories will come, and apart from that there is a strong feeling that's going to come along with those memories. So you're going to get a feeling of fear or anger or frustration or guilt or rejection or loss. Some emotion is going to come. This cord cutting exercise is not necessarily for people who are negative. It can be even for people who are positive, but you don't want that person to influence you anymore. That person's gone now. You don't want to feel anything for that person. So you forgive them and let them go, but at the same time you cut that cord, so you no longer feel anything. Now, when a child is in their mother's womb, they are connected with the umbilical cord. Similarly, with every person that we connect in our life, a cord gets connected. With some people, it's a very, very feeble cord. You don't have any connection at all. With some people, it's a very strong cord. There is a lot of life you have shared with that person, so the cord is a lot more stronger, and letting go of that is very difficult. And that's the reason you should do this cord cutting exercise. So sit down in whatever space you find, visualize, think about that person, use the Photoshop method to get rid of any memories, disempowering memories that are coming to your mind. But the main thing to do is to become aware of your feelings. Once you become aware of your feelings, just think of where that person may be there. When you think of that person, where do you think that? So let's say you're able to visualize that person. When you think of that person, somewhere far off, on your right, on your left, or somewhere, right? Visualize that person there. Become aware of your feelings. And then imagine a cord connecting you and that person. Imagine there is a cord connecting you and that person. And usually when you visualize a cord, you'll be able to see a color, maybe a blue cord or a white cord or a thin cord or a thick cord. Become aware of how strong that cord is. Visually imagine and feel that cord between you and that other person. If the emotions are very strong, you're going to feel a very strong cord there. Now, once you visualize that cord, you start having a conversation with that person, and you start telling that person everything that you need to tell them. That's the next step. If you need to forgive that person, forgive that person. Tell that person, hey, listen, you did what you did. It doesn't matter to me now. I really want to let you go. So I forgive you for everything that you have done. I want you to go away, and I want you to never bother me again. I don't want you to have any influence. I don't want to give you any power over my life. I want you gone and never to be seen again. Maybe you need to seek forgiveness from that person. You have done something and you have the cord of guilt. So seek forgiveness. Say, I'm really sorry for what I did and what has happened, and I hurt you, and I did so and so, and I didn't mean to do that, and I seek forgiveness. Please forgive me for what I did. If you need to say something, tell something, hear something, have that conversation with that person, visualize having a conversation so that you can sort whatever is remaining between you and the person. And once you have said and done everything you need to do, the final step is to cut the cord. Imagine that you have a knife, or you have a sword, or you have a raw, or you have a stick, or anything that feels right to you. And physically, you will cut that cord, cut it, cut it, cut it, cut it, cut it, cut it, cut that cord. And as you do that, imagine that cord that you were visualizing shred and like an elastic break, and that person go away from you. And you go away from them, right? Just like that. So that all the emotional connect that you felt with that person goes away forever. Once you're done with that, you can give gratitude to yourself, to God, to whoever you believe in, and meditate for some time, and you can open your eyes, right? So this is the process of cord cutting. It's an extremely powerful exercise. Letting go of somebody from the past is not that easy. It needs some work, but it is worth it. So if you follow all the steps that I have mentioned in this video, and you also watch the other video on how to let go of your past, I'm sure that you will be largely successful in at least letting go of majority of the things in your past that hold you back as a person. However, I personally believe that doing any small single work is like putting band-aid on your wounds. It's important that a person goes through a complete process of transformation, letting go of all their habits, attitudes, beliefs, emotions, their past, everything that holds them back, and to become skilled to be able to envision and manifest the future that they want. And this is what happens in a proper structured workshop. I conduct workshops on neuro-linguistic programming, which is a brilliant brain reprogramming science. And I'm conducting a masterclass very soon. I do the masterclasses quite often. So I'm going to leave a link at the bottom for our upcoming masterclass, and even a link to our website so you can check up our upcoming workshops. Take the time, attend this live online workshop. The masterclass as well as my longer workshops are live online, which mean that you can actually interact, and I am going to personally take you through the process of transformation in my live online workshops. So thank you very much, everybody. Subscribe to my channel, NLP Magic with Seema Shenoy Manek, because there are so many videos over here with which you can transform your life, become a skilled person with authority and influence. And keep coming back for more videos. Click the like button if you are enjoying my videos, and share it with as many people so I can meet my mission to make a difference to 1 million lives. Thank you very much, and have a wonderful day.